Welcome back, everyone. This is Chris again with the Virtual Firearms Association, and boy, do I have a doozy in for you today. There's a school shooting that actually took place in Michigan in which the parents are actually going to be charged for the deaths of the victims. But before we get started, I want to give you a friendly reminder of those free gifts that we have located in the description, as far as the free targets for you to actually print out, download, and utilize at your disposal. Save you some money, save you some time is actually getting some of that target practice in, as well as that free basic marksmanship pistol class that we have available, especially if you're a new shooter and you're looking to get started. Take advantage of those. Those are our gifts from us to you. It's for free. Go ahead and utilize it. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and get it started.
Begin tonight with the verdict. A Michigan mother found guilty on all 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter in her son Ethan Crumbley's deadly shooting rampage at school. The first parent ever to be convicted in their child's deadly school shooting. Jennifer Crumbley seated in that courtroom hearing the verdict, guilty on all 4 counts. Her attorney visibly shaken. Crumbley simply bowing her head. Tonight, the jurors, some of whom are parents, others who are gun owners, not taking these deliberations lightly. And what the jury foreperson said after the verdict. ABC's Trevor Ault leading us off at the courthouse in Michigan tonight.
Tonight in Michigan, that historic verdict.
We find the defendant guilty of involuntary manslaughter. Guilty of involuntary manslaughter. Guilty of involuntary manslaughter. Guilty of involuntary manslaughter.
Jennifer Crumbley guilty of those 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, one for each of the students her son murdered at Oxford High School in 2021. She is the first parent in the U.S. ever held criminally liable for their child's school shooting. The jury, comprised of 6 men, 6 women, some parents, some gun owners, deliberating for 11 hours over 2 days, determining Crumbley failed in her duty as a parent, ignoring the signs of her son's deteriorating mental health and gifting him the gun he used in the shooting. The defense argued it was her husband James's responsibility to secure the weapon, but the jury foreperson saying after the verdict, the thing that really hammered it home is that she was the last adult with the gun. Prosecutor showing this video in court, Crumbley taking her son to the firing range.
You're the last adult to have possession of that gun.
Correct.
The shooter bringing that 9mm handgun to school just 3 days later. And even that morning, prosecutor said Crumbley had the chance to stop the shooting. Called in for that meeting with her son's counselor, the school concerned about what was written on his math assignment. Crumbley never telling the school to look for a gun. The shooter opening fire hours later. Today, Crumbley sitting motionless, eyes down as the verdict was read, quickly escorted away in handcuffs. The judge thanking the jury.
We all know that this is one of the hardest things you've ever done.
Prosecutors shaking hands and hugging the families of the victims. And tonight, Craig Schilling, whose son Justin was killed, with this message to Jennifer Crumbley.
You wouldn't have to go through any of this if you would have just done your job as a parent. So you had a chance to do it, and you didn't. And now it's your time.
Jennifer Crumbley's sentencing is now set for April, and her husband James will stand trial in March. David, this is really a landmark moment for parents, given what this jury decided, that a parent can be held responsible for a child's school shooting.
This definitely brings up an interesting topic that we actually have been having here in the United States, but it's just when it comes to gun violence and mental health. In this particular situation, it was a little bit of both, because the shooter was actually pleading out that he was having these wild, crazy thoughts that he wanted to cause harm and things like that, in which the parents actually just ignored it. They didn't pay any attention to it. They still gave him that access that he shouldn't even have had to a firearm. And what did he end up doing? Ended up going to the school and actually shooting innocent people who had nothing to do with any of his issues that he actually had going on. Go ahead, leave comments in the section. Let's talk about this. I want to hear about everybody's thoughts and opinions on this particular subject. Should we enforce more strict laws as far as onto the parents and hold them accountable just as much as we do for the shooter? Or do you believe that that's going to be a little too much? Leave your thoughts and your opinions. Thank you for your time. Let's talk about it, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.